What's up, guys? Welcome back to Tech News Day. Now, before we get started today, we want to let you know that we will be heading up to Seattle next weekend for PAX, and we want to meet you. We will be at the Dungeon Boss booth on Friday, September 2nd and Saturday, September 3rd at 2 p.m. Be there. We want to thank Big Fish Games for sending us up there, and if you want to thank them, or if you want to try out an awesome mobile game, download Dungeon Boss using the link in the description below. See you there next weekend at PAX. We'll be there.
I hope to see you soon. Guys, North Korea is a place that you may think we spend way too much time talking about, but it's just such a fucking strange and kind of terrifying place that any news out of there is just naturally a lot more fascinating than it would be coming from somewhere else. Especially in today's modern world where the North Korean government's insistence on censoring and controlling information about the outside world is very much at odds with life outside of North Korea, where fully or mostly unrestricted internet access is becoming the norm, even in some of the world's poorest places. So that's why when we hear that North Korea is launching a Netflix-style streaming service called Man Bang, we pay attention.
Oh yeah, I'm at attention right now. So first off, despite its name, Man Bang has nothing to do with gay porn. In Korean, Man Bang just means everything, or every direction. Man Bang is basically a Roku box that connects to a TV and to North Korea's intranet, which isn't the same as internet because it's self-contained and only allows access to what the government has made available. Man Bang gives users access to government-produced documentaries, newspaper articles, foreign language lessons in English and Russian, and 5 live TV channels. It also has a built-in search function to help you narrow down what you're looking for out of all that hot, juicy North Korean content that you now have at your fingertips. Man Bang!
Real Housewives of Pyongyang.
Yeah, you have been banned from Pyongyang.
So it's so far only available in the cities of Pyongyang, Sinuiju, and Sarawon, and there's reportedly a lot of enthusiasm over the new service in Sinuiju in particular because it's on the border with China, and their over-the-air TV signal just totally fucking sucks. Anyway,
Wait, they're saying that we're trapped over here.
What? What?
Yeah.
What?
Anyways.
Yeah, so it's unclear how many people are actually going to be Man Bang users, considering that...
Man bangers.
Man bangers.
That's what they call them.
According to most sources, internet use in North Korea is pretty much limited to universities and government offices, but it sounds like at least among the more elite members of North Korean society, this Man Bang thing could really take off. In the meantime, though, Netflix is having some fun with the whole thing by changing their Twitter bio to Man Bang Knockoff.
Yeah.
Because as we all know, Kim Jong-il in the year 1996 had a brilliant idea for what became Netflix, but the American imperialists, they snuck in, trying to always steal the North Korean technology. They took the Netflix idea.
He just had to, sure, he died. But in his death, the Man Bang project lived on, and 20 years after its inception, it is finally ready for the world to feast its eyes on.
Yeah.
And there's a reason it took 20 years. It's great.
Yeah, and it's not like Kim Jong-il is without other accomplishments. The man...
hole-in-one on every
every time he played golf.
Yeah,
hole-in-one on every hole. He invented the cheeseburger. Has never taken a shit ever.
Yeah.
He was fully nutrient neutral. So it doesn't take anything away from him that we Americans, we imperialists, we capitalist pigs stole Netflix.
And the Man Bangers love it.
Yeah, the Man Bangers are fully on board.
Yes. But speaking of technological progress in unlikely places, Iraq has apparently decided that the best way to deal with that little ISIS problem is to send robots in to kill them, or at least a robot. Does it look like those ones from Boston Dynamics?
No.
That everyone just kicks over all the time?
No.
Well, that's good. Military news website Defense One picked up a story published in the Baghdad Post showing the newest member of the Iraqi security forces arsenal, a small four-wheeled tank-like unmanned vehicle with 4 cameras, an automatic machine gun, and a rocket launcher, which can be controlled by a laptop via radio signals from up to 1 kilometer away. They plan to use it to help liberate the city of Mosul from ISIS. They're taking a note from that guy that strapped a flamethrower and a gun to his drone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should use that.
Yes.
ISIS
It's like
would be
BattleBots
terrified.
against ISIS.
Yeah.
Put ISIS in the BattleBots arena.
We just gotta catch them first.
Gotta catch them all.
So I guess it's not that surprising that robot warfare would start in Iraq, but it is surprising that it would be a homegrown Iraqi war robot supposedly designed by 2 Iraqi brothers and not one of the much more advanced US-built killer war robots that were apparently too pussified to actually use. Come on, do it for Clint Eastwood. He's only got so long left.
Yeah.
Okay, it has actually nothing to do with pussification and everything to do with the fact that advanced military technology goes through years of testing before being used by the US military. The US Army actually had 3 armed robots ready to go in Iraq all the way back in 2007, but they pulled the plug on them.
Literally? Literally pulled the plug?
Probably. They pulled the plug on it because they noticed that the gun was moving when it wasn't supposed to.
That's horrifying.
Some red flags.
Whoops. But at this point, Iraq's problems are a little bit more immediate, and even if this Iraqi robot named Al Robot, is that what it is?
Yeah, I think it just means the robot.
Al Robot, even if it doesn't work perfectly, it's still a robot with a gun, and that's a step up from actually sending in humans to try to liberate an entire city from ISIS. Godspeed, Iraq death robot. Give them hell. But moving on from remote-controlled death machines to semi-autonomous death machines, Uber is actually going to be testing out adding semi-autonomous Volvo SUVs in their fleet this month in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and it's already been photographed on the street. They're out there, and the world didn't come to an end yet.
Yeah, so Uber has been pursuing a self-driving future for a couple years now with a goal of one day just having a fully autonomous fleet of cars in every city that can come pick your lazy, drunk ass up at the touch of a button and get you where you need to go without having to pay any of those pesky drivers.
I will say, yeah, the drivers are probably very upset. This is moving way faster than any of them thought it would, first of all. But second of all, the first users of this autonomous car are going to be drunk people. Because as a completely sober person right now, I'd be like, if I had the option, I'd be like, well, I'll have the real driver.
Yeah,
With 2:30 outside the club, completely hammered, you know what? I think I'll save a couple bucks and get that robot to drive me home.
I don't know if they're doing it at night. They might be. So you go Pittsburgh and day drink.
Yeah. Okay,
But anyway, yeah, so this isn't anywhere near the future that Uber wants, but starting soon, or I guess starting now,
Yeah.
it's already happening. People in Pittsburgh who hail an Uber will be randomly assigned to semi-autonomous cars with someone in the driver's seat ready to take over at a moment's notice when the car inevitably needs them to.
Yeah.
And another guy in the passenger seat taking notes about the whole thing.
That won't be awkward as a ride home, especially when
You're
drunk.
part of our experiment to see if this
A
works.
drunk couple gets in the back and starts making out, and you just have a scientist and a safety guy. Yeah,
She is aroused. So, and if you get randomly assigned to one of these Volvos, your ride is free. Buddy.
Good.
So Volvo and Uber, they've also announced a $300 million agreement to have a fully self-driving Uber vehicle, specifically for Uber, ready to go by 2021. Set your clocks, kids, that's 5 years away.
Yeah, it's gonna be before that Marvel, what the hell was it? It was one of the movies that they canceled, yeah. Anyways, the future cannot come soon enough for Uber, who really, really want to replace humans as fast as possible because their current way of doing things using human drivers has gotten them into a couple legal pickles. A couple. They're currently in a court battle with drivers in California and Massachusetts who believe they should be classified as employees instead of contractors and receive benefits and reimbursements for gas and vehicle upkeep. A recent attempt at fixing the whole thing with a settlement was rejected by a U.S. District Court judge for being unfair and inadequate.
Yeah, so Uber offered $84 million to make the whole lawsuit go away.
Drop in the bucket.
Sounds like a lot, but it would have only given each driver around $24. And it would have kept the current contractor situation exactly the same as it is. So not that great of a
Now
deal.
you get nothing, because the robots are going to drive.
Yeah. The original sum that the plaintiffs were asking, it still would have only given each driver around $250, but it would have also changed Uber's policies to make drivers employees. I think that's what they're mostly going for.
Yeah.
In the meantime, though, the state of Massachusetts, they're sticking it to Uber in their own way by introducing a new law that adds a 20-cent fee to every ride using a ride-sharing service, 5 cents of which will go straight to the traditional taxi cab industry to essentially help them catch up with the modern world.
This sucks.
Yeah, and you know Uber is going to be passing those fees on to you.
Anyways, there's reasons to hate Uber, but it's shit like this that helps remind you that it was really shitty before Ubers showed up.
Yeah.
Taxis suck, and if they haven't been able to fix what's wrong with how they do business over the last several years since ride sharing hit the scene and started eating away at their customer base, how is throwing more money at this problem going to fix anything? We throw money at Phil Lorigo every week, begging him to just take the money and go get a massage or something that would soothe his nerves before he has a heart attack. But yet again, he's back with another report on what is grinding his gears. Phil, step in.
T-Mobile's back in the news, and they're bringing back their unlimited data plans. And possibly net neutrality violations. We'll get there in a sec. But the plans have some serious stipulations, which are kind of bullshit. Unlimited bummer number 1, you can't stream HD video. With the new T-Mobile One plan, users get unlimited, notice these fucking things, unlimited data, but are limited to streaming video at 480p standard def.
Whoa!
If users want to stream HD video, they have to pay an additional $25 a month.
What?
That's like not that's like not having an unlimited plan. It's like having a shitty plan. Unlimited bummer number 2. There's a 26 gig cap for mobile data. After that, you may get throttled. T-Mobile claims that only 3% of their customers fall into this category, but let's be realistic here. Websites are so goddamn elaborate these days that they chew through more data than you think, and every stupid photo you click on social media is probably like 100 megapixels of some girl you're stalking.
Plus Facebook autoplays.
Plus Facebook autoplays, and there's a lot of brunch photos in there.
Boom. Have you even mentioned Snapchat? The biggest data hog of all?
Don't you have a banging Snapchat, Ricky?
I stopped using it because it used too much data.
Oh, see that? Warning. And then what do you think's gonna happen when we all switch to 4K video? Cha-ching, gigabytes down the line, and then you're kind of fucked on this unlimited plan. So even if you're not on an unlimited plan, T-Mobile offers Binge On, which allows certain streaming services to not count against your data cap. But they're also limited to 480p. So initially I thought this was a really cool idea and it sounds great in a marketing campaign, but when you really look at it, it's more beneficial to T-Mobile and the streaming services than it is for you. So by locking you in at standard def video, T-Mobile and the streaming services get to save on bandwidth because they're delivering low-res content. So while you're squinting at crappy video, HBO and YouTube and Hulu, they get to save on their bandwidth bills.
T-Mobile should just make all their phones automatically 480p screens. Who needs an HD screen?
That's
on
a
their
pretty
phone?
good idea. I wish my phone would flip open. And this is where we run into net neutrality violations. So we all want an internet where everyone gets the same information superhighway like we were promised in the 90s and no one's throttled or has sites blocked. And I know I'm always coming on the show and bitching about weird dystopian tinfoil hat bullshit, but this T-Mobile 480p stuff and this throttling is all how this starts. So I actually am a T-Mobile customer and I've been really happy with my service, but I'm also lucky enough to be grandfathered into an unlimited plan that's not restricted like these new ones.
Same.
So shout out
I literally hit up John Leger.
Did he get back to you?
He did. After he announced this, he goes, if you still have your grandfather plan, you get to keep that plan.
You get to keep it.
But don't ever fucking change your plan.
But don't ever leave. And the problem is you move to another carrier and it goes away and you just move from something okay to something worse.
Also, don't ever change any part of your plan because it'll void what you have. And
there you go. So if you get a Canadian girlfriend, don't add international calling, Elliot. T-Mobile has been playing the cool kid card in an attempt to separate themselves from all the other carriers and the bad guys like AT&T and Verizon. They've given away stock. They hand out free stuff every Tuesday, including Suicide Squad tickets, which now I know why those fucking things were free. Makes sense now that I've seen the movie. But
free lift every week though.
I'll take that. But when you put their offerings under the microscope, you see the cold reality that they're a company and they have a bottom line and they have to keep their shareholders happy. So they got creative and hoping keeping customers, partners, and their own wallet happy. And riding that line of net neutrality is not going unnoticed, despite all the marketing that paints this is goodwill towards customers. The Electronic Frontier Foundation, a bunch of lawyer types who want to defend your right to watch porn in high def, had this to say, quote, "From what we've read thus far, it seems like T-Mobile's new plan to charge its customers extra to not throttle video runs directly afoul of the principle of net neutrality." So what did outspoken T-Mobile CEO John Leger and Ricky's new BFF have to say about that?
John Leger.
Quote, "Who the fuck are you anyway, EFF? Why are you stirring up so much trouble? And who pays you?" He's coming up with that hot fire. And honestly, no joke, if you didn't put a who said that, I would say Trump said that. It sounds like something.
He's the original Donald
Trump. He's the OG Trump. So Leger later did a 180 and said he knew who the EFF was, and quote, I'm sure they do.
I was joking. It was being sarcastic.
I'm sure they do a lot of great things for consumers.
No, turn those lights off.
And innovation can be controversial, which I do kind of agree with. So even the cool nice guy sometimes isn't that cool or nice. And I guess there's a little Donald Trump inside of all of us. So I don't know if that was a dick joke about Trump having a small dick, or if that was saying that we're all Donald Trump. So.
I have to say something. As we're both loyal T-Mobile customers,
yes,
right?
I love it.
So here's my thing. This is fucked. This is so fucked that he's doing this.
Yeah.
T-Mobile has positioned itself as the good guys for years to lead up to this point where they're actually starting to fuck everyone. But having said that, this is a bad idea for a lot of users. Specifically, like if I had just come to T-Mobile, I use a lot of gigs every month on my mobile plan. I'd be generous and say 85% of the people that are using mobile phones the way that they use them, this is probably great for them.
Yeah, you don't hit the 26 gigs is something that now no one's, again, I agree that it's like 97% of people don't go there, but down the line, if you think you're like, you got the warm fuzzies and you're like, dude, I'm gonna get a unlimited plan and we're good. Honey, we're good forever. It's like, it's gonna run into that.
Yeah.
It's just a bummer that the plans that we have are dope, and these ones, if you want HD video, it's an extra $25 a month.
Oh, they'll take it away from us at some point.
At some point.
But what
we're
I'm
gonna
saying
lose
is
this.
primarily the people that use 80% of the people, and yes, I'm generalizing because this is what generalizing is.
Right.
80% of the people, this is actually going to help their bills.
I think so.
But it hinders innovation. And the people that actually want to use their phone to the full capability. My phone has a fucking ultra HD screen. Why am I going to watch something in 480p when I can watch it in HD? I want to see your beautiful 5 o'clock shadow the way it's meant to be seen, as scruffy as possible. Not a gray blur.
Not a gray blur.
Yeah.
But see, where I disagree with you is that if I don't complain about these things, why am I on your show? Like, I have to come on and just stir up the shit.
That's why you're here. This is great because it is fucked. But he's doing it in such a sneaky way. That's what makes me so angry about it.
It's like someone saying like unlimited breadsticks, and then while you're doing that, they rob your house.
Does this look like the face of a man who had all he could eat?
I don't know. Yeah. You tell me.
John Legere looks like Steve Buscemi's lost brother.
All right, anyway, let's close out this tech show of ours with a couple of quick squirts from the tech world.
Yeah.
Starting with the fact that Android Nougat is out for Nexus owners like Ricky.
I still haven't got it. I tried to do the update yesterday.
What?
Doesn't happen.
So it's not out?
This is the 6P, and I bought it straight up. No service contract or anything. Still don't have it. So
what's up with that? That's the most recent one.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on,
and
Google?
I bought it straight up from Google.
All right, well, something is very fishy.
Yeah, but so, it's out. It's out for other people.
Out.
It's rolling out.
Yeah, but I thought Nexus devices got it first.
Well, I'm still in some kind of line.
Well, at least you'll still be among the first to get it. Everyone else just gets to sit around playing the waiting game while our device manufacturer takes its sweet fucking time optimizing it for our specific devices. Wham, wham, wham. Anyway, though, it's got some pretty decent improvements for battery life, data consumption, user interface, and so on. So have fun, Nexus guys, and the rest of us, we'll be waiting for our turn.
I'm not having fun because I can't get it. It's pissing me off. The phone just broke. Anyways, Gawker is officially dead.
Oh, no.
After the Hulk Hogan sex tape lawsuit funded by billionaire Peter Thiel, who has held a grudge against Gawker for years and years over an article that outed him as gay, Gawker Media was broke as fuck and looking for a new owner. And they found one at the 11th hour. And that owner that bought them out was
Univision.
Who aren't just a Spanish language TV channel anymore. They're an online media empire. If you remember correctly, back in January, they bought The Onion. And now they've got all of Gawker's assorted websites like Kotaku, Lifehacker, Deadspin, Jalopnik, Jezebel, and Gizmodo. Gawker.com, though, the one that started it all and the hub for all those other sites, is fucking dead. Oh well.
What'll we ever do? And finally, brace yourselves, guys, because the world's largest aircraft ever, which happens to be shaped like a giant butt, it just crash landed in the English countryside, and oh, the humanity, the images and video are not safe for life. Just kidding, it's the most adorable crash landing ever. The Airlander 10 may have failed at its goal of being able to stay in the air for like 10 days on end without too much fuel.
Yeah.
But at least now we know that even in the worst case scenario, it just kind of slowly falls to the ground and collapses like a tired manatee.
Oh, the huge manatee.
Oh, the huge manatee.
Womp, womp, womp.
Get on it, memers.
That's already been a meme. Back in the FARC days, it was around.
Anyway, guys, you guys excited for that Gambit movie coming out in October?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please don't hurt my feelings by saying it's not happening.
It's not happening.
Fuck.
Find out why at 11 or by clicking on our video.
Yeah.
Also, Kanye West loves McDonald's so much he wrote them a love poem, and we hired an actor to read it.
Yeah.
And on our podcast, the Mighty Hutch.
The Mighty Hutch is back.
Hutch.
He respawned into our office.